Brosplay! So, my theories on humanity and our biggest problems is that everybody is searching... Fuck. Everybody is pursuing positive feelings. We have different names for it. Passion, creativity, happiness. It's all it is. Fucking whatever. Everything we're doing, whether you're doing drugs or playing video games or jerking off, it's all towards positive feelings. And everybody doesn't want, like, we just don't realize we're all in pursuit of the same feeling. It's just different things that get that feeling.
Yeah, well, for everyone, what they need to do is different too.
Yeah.
So it's not even, like I can give you great suggestions, but if they're not good suggestions for you, it's just not going to work.
Well, I'm satisfied if I do laundry, groceries, pay my bills, rent, and all that other bullshit, and do all that shit in one day, and then relax on the other days. I still feel satisfied. I feel like I had a good 2 days off. Meanwhile, Justin Wren is saving millions of people every year, and he's like, I don't know, man. I'm really trying to go for billions. like it's all about how you feel. But I think the biggest issue with oh fuck, I had another point. Oh yeah, the also a big issue is that almost everyone is trying to feel like they're trying to pursue a guilt-free, safe life, and whatever they can do to allow that to happen. It's all different things. That's what racism's all about. Like we were talking about, I forget where we were talking about it, but like imagine how nice it would be if someone's skin changed color based on the crimes they did or intended to do. Fuck, would that ever be an easy life, right? Fucking some like blue guy comes up to you and you're like, oh fuck, murderer, get away from me.
Or
man.
or like someone comes up to you and they're like greenish, and you're like, that person's sad or something like that.
Yeah, or
so you can just be like,
has
hey,
intentions to steal your money.
what's wrong, Greenie?
Yeah.
Greenie. I feel like there'd be
why so blue, Greenie? But yeah, that's like I used to listen to the news when I was young and hear some story like 19-year-old was shot and killed by police, and you're like, oh shit, like he was dealing drugs. And I'm like, oh well, he put himself in that situation. And then I grew up and realized, yeah, a 19-year-old drug dealer didn't put themselves in that situation. They grew up in that situation. They're actually trying to make a living in a society built, or a neighborhood
just turned to pulp.
But like, if you grow up in a place where you get stopped by police every day, you think you're gonna respect them?
I mean, even more. If you're getting stopped by the police every day, the simple law of numbers says that you're more likely to get arrested.
Yeah.
It's the same as what were we just talking about? If you don't leave something on your car,
yeah, there's
no chance it'll fall off. Well, if you never run into the police, like I can't even remember the last time I talked to a police officer that wasn't like in school.
Yeah.
Or so. I think the last time was once we were eating ice cream and we were just parked in like an empty parking lot, and this cop comes up and like just to verify like who we are. That we're not like some teens or anything. Yeah. He's like, do you know this man? Is this man your father? Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Oh, we were like way out in the boonies, at like midnight, and we're just like pulling
eating ice cream.
Off to the side on a side road. Like I'm like, that actually kind of made me feel safer that they were like, this is a weird thing that's happening. I don't really like this.
Yeah, we're just going to check in on these motherfuckers.
And we're like, oh yeah, hey, we just do this thing called night driving because we're really privileged.
Yeah, talk about your privilege.
Hey man, we didn't ask for it, we just have it. And it's not like I can't give my privilege to others, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, in some cases, I guess I could, but like, sure, I could just walk up to a homeless person and say, hey, do you need a place to stay? But I could also put myself in danger in that circumstance.
Yeah, that's very true, and you almost definitely would.
And there's also an issue with people think that all you need to do is give them money. That's not the problem. They don't have a money problem. It's a almost guaranteed substance abuse problem. The homelessness correlation to substance abuse is ridiculous. It's like 95%.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's a vicious cycle too. Once you become homeless, building money to pay for rent is really difficult because you've already figured out how to live without a house.
Especially when you're trying to pay for crack.
Yeah, well, there's some drugs that are so expensive that you have to sell it to also in order to do it. Like you have to become a dealer in order to even continue your habit if you're not a famous celebrity. That's why celebrities get into drugs so often because they're put in a scenario where they are. I don't think this is how you're supposed to go. By the way,
No.
like this doesn't feel right at all. I think.
Well, like how else?
I think there's got to be a better way. And that's probably not it.
I feel like I could
Dude, to the left. There's
If I
a
fall
platform
again,
to the left, dude. I'm pretty sure you have to climb up there. There's a second platform up there.
see if I can make it high.
There you go. See, as
okay.
a celebrity, you're put in the public eye, and now you're not allowed to complain as a famous person. Like none of your problems are problems to other people because they just think that once you have money, everything's good.
Unless you're Eminem, because you spend so much time complaining that people get it.
Yeah, okay. For a while there, his entire music style was talking about his music style, which I really was like, are you gonna write? Like, are you gonna talk about new things? Because you're kind of just talking about yourself. Like there's a whole album he had there where it was like all of his songs were about people talking about his songs.
That's a really good point. Yeah, he did. I mean, I feel like it's natural for people to stagnate a little because you have an idea that's so integral to what you do, and then it sort of gets upended. Oh yes,
Super shotgun. All right. So the main point of what I was trying to say there is that everybody's in a circumstance, and just because someone doesn't have your problems doesn't mean they don't have their own. And when you listen to something on the news, it's probably not true.
Yeah, I was
Hey.
I was listening to Aubrey Marcus in a podcast, and he said you need to. I've never heard this expression before, but you know the golden rule, obviously, do unto others as you'd have others do unto you.
Right.
Well, he talked about the platinum rule, which is treat everybody as if they're you in another body.
Oh shit.
And that's so true.
good.
That is definitely the platinum rule. It's like it's more important than treating other people how you want to be treated.
Well, the golden rule could just as easily be an eye for an eye. Like, that's the same thing.
Yeah, it's true. As
If
long as
someone
you're
treats
okay
you-
with it.
So you're like, oh fuck, this guy doesn't give a shit about me, so I don't give a shit about him. Well, how about you treat him like he does give a shit about you? And the problem is there are a lot of people who won't ever change. Like, you can treat them nice all fucking day, and they'll still take advantage of you. But don't do it for them.
Look how tiny this door is compared to all the rest of the doors.
Which is this, a door for cargo?
Oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
I feel like I left a couple things open there that I didn't fully articulate, but anyway.
I think we've talked about this before, though. There's only so much you can articulate, and at the end of the day, people can choose to take whatever you say however they want.
The bottom line here is circumstance is not always simple as it appears. Not everybody puts themselves in a circumstance. Blah, blah, blah. Angles. Variety of angles.
Yeah, go listen to Scroobius Pip
Oh,
versus Dan
fuck.
Lassac. Angles.
Angles.
And Terminal. Did you listen to Terminal?
No.
Fuck.
My name is Mark.
Gotta
I
listen
go
to
to
Terminal.
Union College. Don't socialize much. I just revise in good knowledge. I fucking love that line.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal song, and that's one thing I really like about music is you can stitch in meaning to music that you can't do in certain other media, at least not as easily.
Sixth was the first group that ever inspired me to do voices. Ever. Like, before voice actors.
Really?
Yeah, before I watched I Know That Voice, before I ever appreciated how amazing voice actors were, they inspired me to do that because they would always have a song. They had 2 albums, and on both of those albums, they had one song that was more talking than anything. It was barely music. It was just a conversation. Not a conversation. It was like a poem, but they would say it in a bunch of different voices, and each voice was supposed to emulate how they meant to communicate that information instead of just saying it in a song. My theory on why there's always going to be music that repeats stuff because they're bad writers or they just want people to be able to sing the song before the song's over the first time. But a lot of cases, things are repeated so you remember it.
That's a good point.
It's just like there's how many songs that you couldn't tell me one bit of the verse, but you could tell me the whole chorus because it keeps repeating because that's the important part. That's the part they want you to hear.
But that's why I like good verses so much more than good choruses.
Good horses?
Choruses.
Good horses over courses?
Horses over choruses.
Please visit our Patreon for the new charity, Horses for Courses. It's where we teach young horses to better themselves.
Yeah, horses for work courses.
Through education and not through domestication, I guess.
Through investigation. Ow.
No, no, I said education, not domestication.
Oh. I don't know. Is this the way I'm supposed to go?
Yeah, probably. Hey!
I hope so, because I'm going to get off this track.
Well, that's an interesting... yeah, we get off track all the time. Thank you.
That's a commentary.
Thank you.
It's a commentary in and of itself.
But Sixth is fantastic. I highly recommend you check out their... I don't remember what they're called. Oh, Mermaid Slur is the first one. Or maybe it's the second one. And the other one is... Oh, I can't remember what it's called. They're one of those bands who have really long titles. Like full sentences. So it's kind of hard to remember a lot of it.
Oh, yeah, and it's not like so integrally related with the song that it just doesn't really pop to your head.
Yeah, I think the second album or the first album's called The Trees Are Dried Out and Dead or something like that. Like, oh! That guy's big. That guy's...
Yeah,
he's got
huge.
He has a lot of face, you know?
He reminds me of, Jesus, what are those,
Boomers?
Boomer. He reminds me, yeah, of a Boomer from Left 4 Dead mixed with Asmodan from Diablo 3.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's way better. I thought you were gonna say Boomers from Gears.
Boomers from Gears. I don't even remember those.
Yeah, they had. Were they called Boomers? Yeah, because they had the boom shot, and they would always yell
Boomers,
"Boom,"
yeah,
before they shot. So they were really easy to predict. But that didn't really change anything because the boom shot was a one-shot weapon.
Yeah,
so
it was so massive.
it just and the first time they introduced it to you in Gears 1 is pretty great.
Jesus, they just mangled me.
Yeah, you got triple teamed there.
You saw the big boomer.
Huge goldfish. The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. I fucking love that movie. And quoting it. Actually, I don't like that movie. I just like the quoting part.
But when you watch those movies after having seen the Jar Jar Binks Sith theory, those movies are so much better because you can see what they were supposed to be, not what they ended up being.
Well, the best part about that is George Lucas said, when you're gonna figure out eventually what Jar Jar is all about, and it'll all make sense, or something along those lines.
Yeah,
or Jar Jar is everything, or something like that. He said something like that.
Yeah, Jar Jar is the key to everything.
The key to everything, and he copped out like he has with everything else. Man, is Star Wars ever a fucking sellout series, man? It's amazing. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love Star Wars, man. I love that there's gonna be a Star Wars movie feasibly every year forever. But because I love everything about it. I love the sounds, I love the characters, I love the pretty colors. I love how easily defined the stormtroopers are versus the good guys. I just love everything about it. But I just saw a commercial for a car, for a Rogue One commercial for a car. And it's just like a car driving through a battle between rebels and the stormtroopers.
Aww.
And it's like, this, you didn't even come up with a good reason to put these together. They're just there.
Yeah, like I remember there was one commercial. I don't even know where this comes from. I'm sure you've seen this video. It's the one where I think it's, what's the first president of the United States?
Washington?
What's his name? George Washington. Yeah, I think it's George Washington driving a Ford Mustang, shooting like some sort of an automatic weapon out the window, and he's like racing across this open field during like a Civil War battle. And then it's just like, America, fuck yeah. Like, I don't know if it came from Team America World Police or what, but it's one of my favorite videos of all time because it could be a great Ford advertisement.
You know that George Washington is he's the first president-elect. He's not the first president.
Did he never become president?
No, he was just the first elected president. When he was commander whatever.
Commander-in-Chief?
Yeah, when he founded the idea of the states, and they went through a long battle with, was it England? Or France? I can't remember. England, I think.
Britain? Yeah.
Maybe England? I don't know. But they fought King George.
See, that's the thing. People are always like getting on people's case for when you're not. What the fuck? What the fuck just
Oh
happened?
yeah, it glitched out. He was supposed to explode right away.
Oh, okay.
I was like, are you kidding me? The kill move was like a several stage process. That just doesn't seem right.
Well, people also get like really upset at you when you don't understand like the difference between different nationalities of the Oriental world. So they're like, oh, that guy's Vietnamese and that guy's Korean, but I don't know the fucking difference between someone who's English and British and even Irish and Scot. Like a lot of those things, I couldn't tell you where the United Kingdom is. Like I couldn't tell you what that makes up. I've been told numerous times, but it's just so fucking confusing.
Oh, I know. Okay, so the UK is Northern Ireland. That's the part that always gets me, because Southern Ireland is not part of the UK, or at least it wasn't. That's where the IRA came from. There was their fight.
Civil War.
Their fight was for or actually it's still going on, I think. Their fight is for an independent Ireland. Then you also have Britain, Wales, England, and Scotland, I believe, and they're part of the UK, along with Northern Ireland. But there's also another thing within there. I guess now the EU is not Britain. So Britain is part of the UK with Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, but the rest of them are not part, or the rest of them are part of the EU, while Britain is not.
This is way more confusing than the plot of the first Star Wars.
I don't know. The first Star Wars is pretty brutal. Do you think she suspects an attack?
Do you think she suspects an attack? They cannot fight droidicas. Such a ludicrous movie.
What did he say with the door? He's like,
they are still coming through.
"Oh, the blast doors!"
Close the blast doors. Yeah, very, very interesting movie.
Oh, speaking of the IRA, Apostrophe 71 is a really good movie about the IRA in 1971.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
so fucking good, man.
And you watched the 7.5, right?
No,
What?
no,
You never watched with Michael Dowd?
no.
Oh
I don't even know
man,
who that is.
it's about Brooklyn cops. It's like a Brooklyn cop who starts working in the 75th precinct. This is back in like the 80s, and he was told in the first week that one of the other cops was like essentially killed for trying to rat on people in this first week.
Whoa.
So it's just like the story of how he gets crazy corrupt, like to the point where he's running protection for drug crimes and things like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so, but he's already been to prison, so he can talk about all these things completely openly. It's very
Oh,
interesting.
Michael Dowd, was he on Joe Rogan?
Yes, he was.
Oh, so it's a movie about his life?
No, it's a movie about about his life in the precinct.
Oh.
Yeah, and like his
Wow.
his partner like ended up turning on him and stuff like that. It's a very, very interesting documentary.
Dude, Ireland in 71 was a war zone. Like a full-on war zone. It was ridiculous.
Like what Ukraine is like now. Well, not maybe necessarily now, but what
Well, it
Ukraine
was,
was like
yeah.
a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I mean, Joe Rogan actually mentioned how people always say the apocalypse is not here, but the apocalypse isn't in North America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had several people tell me that they want to live in a world like The Walking Dead. I'm like, buddy, it exists already. You can go there. There
Yeah,
are places...
you say that, but then you're just gonna want to go home and be warm
Oh, fuck
and
yeah.
comfortable.
Oh, what you want is to experience their world from the comfort of your home, eating a fucking pizza.
Which is why you can watch the show, yeah?
It's the 7th fucking season or 6th fucking season, all right? There's a lot of content. Just watch it. But it's so funny. Like, some guy said that, and I said, why? It's like, it just seems simpler. I'm like, simpler? What? How? You're a part-time kid working in a pizza shop while you go to school. I understand that life seems complicated, but that's the simplest part about it. It's that first little bit. It's the most confusing, and it's the angstiest part, but it's definitely the simplest.
It's true. There's
And
not
the
much to
easiest.
do. There's no responsibilities.
You just don't realize it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would never fucking go back
To what, being young?
to. Oh fuck no. That having responsibility and control can seem really bad when it's thrown at you. But once you realize how simple it is, like at the end of the day, it's like find a place, find a job, go to the job, pay rent, get yourself some internet. Like that's about as complicated as it has to be. If you want to add a car in there, it's a little more complicated. Insurance and shit's a little
Maintenance,
out of my
winter
depth.
tires and shit.
But still, at the end of the day, it's really just money in, money out.
Well, honestly, the insurance thing, you tell them what account every month, they draw money out of your account, and you're insured. That's it.
Yeah.
It's everything is simple once you figure it out. It's just you got to figure it out.
Yeah, and I highly recommend people.
Fucker.
You got to deal with your problems. You just keep letting them build up, and you're gonna have a bad time. It's been my biggest issue is I know I have to deal with something, and then I go, fuck, I'll deal with it next week, and then that just next week never comes. It's always the next week, and it just never,
snowballs.
Yeah, once I just like as soon as I decide, as soon as I plan or I start a plan to get things done, I feel immediately better because I'm already pushing forward to the good thing.
Yeah, you don't have to have something done. You just have to have something started.
Plus, you don't have to do the whole thing in one day.
Well, if there's something that you want to do or something you feel bad about, like let's say you feel overweight, if you're on the path to, I can't get in there. Fuck! I have no idea how to get up. If you're on the path to correcting that, then that's something you can just keep in mind. Like anytime you feel like you should have done more or you feel like you're behind with your diet, you just go, okay, well, like I'm doing it. I'm trying. I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
I'm moving forward. I'm not here today, but I might be there tomorrow.
There you go.
There we go.
Fucking right.
Finally. Enough faffing about.
Nice. Speaking of faffing about, thank you for joining us. Next time, more platforming, I guess.
Yeah. Well, once they gave me that double jump, they're like, oh, this motherfucker can scale now. Yes, I am.